let's get mad at rich people.
Okay, everyone ready to do that?
Yeah, that's always fun. I get it. We're looking at the tippy top of the iceberg, so the numbers get
The top
skewed.
500.
We're looking at the top 500 wealthiest people on the planet, according to Bloomberg's analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive in. How well did they do in 2019? Well, it turns out that they've increased their fortunes by $1.2 trillion.
Whoa.
1.2 thousand million dollars, or roughly 2.4 billion apiece for each of the 500 wealthiest people in the world. But again, averages aren't very good, and I don't know what the median is, but I can do math.
It's a lot. It's more than most people make in a day.
Right. So some people did better than others, and some people didn't do so well. So interestingly, where do they say? So yeah, Mark Zuckerberg increased his wealth by 27.3 billion. Bill Gates increased his by 22.7 billion. Jeff Bezos lost nearly 9 billion.
That's probably from his divorce.
Yeah, but likely will still be the richest person on the planet. It's just ridiculous. The Bloomberg is pointing out that 8 of the 10 wealthiest people on the planet are American. It just makes me so mad, right? That amount of wealth aggregated in that small of a number of hands. What is Bill Gates doing that is adding $22 billion worth of, productivity to our country? What is he doing? I thought he retired years ago. Oh, he does. He's got the nice working on vaccines, overseas, helping the poor people, the vaccines, but making $22 billion annually somehow. Oh, right, because our major GDP generator in this country is pushing money around in complicated ways. That's what we do. Hey, let's just put all that big money into the stocks and the bonds and and it becomes more. I love so it's interesting that there are a few extremely wealthy Americans who kind of get it, right? You have your Nick Hanauers, who is an early investor in Amazon, who's like, tax me more, right? Your Warren Buffett's, who sometimes says things that are kind of nice, but you still have to be like, but you're kind of, come on, man. The heir to the Disney family fortune had a really great phrase that she used. I can't remember where I saw some interview somewhere. But she said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing here, turning $100 into $110 takes work, but turning $100 million into $110 million is just inevitable.
I remember actually that she was on Fox Business like 2 years ago, and she was trying to make that point, and I've never seen I don't think I've ever seen before Fox Business admonish a billionaire until she's like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be having as much, and they just do their their standard. Well, why don't you just give away all that money that you have? Why don't you, if you're Bernie Sanders and you want people to be equal, why don't you just sell your houses and liquidate your possessions? Because let me put it very clearly, and this is an easy response everyone can use if they ever have that kind of a really, really, really stupid question. A drop in a bucket doesn't put out a fire. And asking someone, any single person on that list to give up their wealth doesn't do anything but put a drop of water on a fire. You need it all to come together in a systemic way. That's where you get enough water to put out a fire. So I also want to give a shout out to Haba Ristra. Keep up the good work. How can people contact the show? Well, if you want to contact the show, we have a Discord link in the link below. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, and we have a website that has, I think, a few different ways to contact us as well. Twitter as well.
We read the comments.
Yeah, we read comments. But yeah, if you want to talk to us directly, one of those places. And if you want to like email us, just let us know on Discord and we'll chat and we'll get that set up.
I think I want to wrap up the story by just talking about the data in terms of percentages, right? So the wealthiest 500 Americans, or actually...
Oh, can I just say one thing before you do that? With that money, that 1.2 trillion that they've just gained in a single year, we could have universal college tuition for everyone for like 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, we could get our universal college tuition and Medicare for all done on that.
Well, Medicare for all is like a third of a year of Medicare for all.
wasn't it 3.2 trillion over 10 years?
No.
Or is it 32?
3.2 per year.
3.2 trillion per year. Okay.
32 over 10 years.
Still.
It's still a lot.
Still.
If you let me just contextualize that. If 500 wealthiest people in 1 year's income can pay effectively a full year for 100 million Americans who are generally very overweight and have lower health reasons for a whole bunch of reasons, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. It represents a 25% increase year over year in the wealth of those 500 wealthiest people in the world. Right, 25% increase. How is it that they are seeing a 25% increase in their actual wealth? When you go lower down the scale, those percentage increases, it's not keeping pace with inflation. Inflation's like 3.2%, and the wage increases were like 2.5%. Right, we're not keeping pace with inflation, and it's like, yeah, we earned 2.5% more. They had a 25% increase on their already ostentatious wealth.
And you know what's interesting about that? You know what we did a story on yesterday? Stock market had about an overall 25% increase.
Oh, it's funny how those numbers line up so closely.
And as Bernie Sanders said the last
the wealthy
debate,
people pushing their money around.
and as Bernie Sanders said at the last debate, accounted for inflation, wages have gone up 1.4%.
Even lower than what I said. Accounting for inflation, 1.4. No, that's accounting for inflation. So that's included.
Yeah, if you in factor in inflation.
So they did outpace inflation this year?
Yeah. Woohoo! We outpaced inflation.
All right. All right.
Someone pop the champagne cork. Or really, at this point with the income, we have just the cork.
Yeah. Someone get a cork. We'll pretend there was a wine
Throw
bottle.
it and we'll say,
And we'll dream about the wine that might have been inside of it.
Yes.
But we've got a cork now.
Yeah.
All right. Wealthy people.